I never thought life could turn out like this, standing in the middle of the Willow Bend Country Club, surrounded by people who were supposed to be celebrating me. My name's Julian Hayes, and today is my 35th birthday. At least, that's what Mia told me when she insisted on throwing this party. I'd always been a simple guy. A quiet life, a good woman by my side, maybe a couple of kids running around someday. That was all I ever wanted. Willow Bend seemed like the perfect place to build that dream. It's one of those small towns you see in movies. Tree-lined streets, friendly faces, the kind of place where everyone knows your name. When I met Mia Grant 3 years ago, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. She was stunning. Long, dark hair, bright green eyes, and a smile that could light up a room. But it wasn't just her looks. She had a sharp mind, a way of seeing the world. That pulled me in. Plus, she came from money. Her parents, Clive and Rosalind Grant, were big shots around here. They owned half the businesses on Main Street. Hardware stores, cafes, even the little movie theater with the flickering sign. Me? I was just an outsider, a guy who'd clawed his way up from nothing. No fancy family name, no inheritance, just a knack for tech and a lot of hard work. I built my own consulting business from the ground up, helping small companies with their websites and systems. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. When Mia said she loved me for that, for my grit and my drive, I believed her. I thought we were a team. So when she suggested this birthday party, I didn't think much of it. "Let me spoil you for once," she said, brushing her hand across my cheek. "You deserve it, Julian." I smiled and nodded, figuring it would be a nice night. Maybe a cake, some drinks, a few laughs with friends. I didn't need anything big, but Mia loved a good show. The Willow Bend Country Club was her family's territory. Polished wood floors, chandeliers dangling from the ceiling, waiters in crisp white shirts gliding around with trays of champagne. I'd been here before for her dad's business dinners, always feeling a little out of place among the suits and small talk. But tonight was supposed to be different. Tonight was about me. I put on my best jacket, a dark blue one Mia had picked, out for me last Christmas, and drove over with a grin on my face. The parking lot was full, cars lined up like they were waiting for something big. I figured she'd gone all out, maybe invited some of the guys I worked with or the neighbors. We'd had over for barbecues. But when I stepped inside, I knew something was wrong. The room was packed, just like I expected, but the atmosphere was off. There were no balloons, no streamers, none of the usual birthday decorations. The big table in the center of the room caught my eye. No cake, no presents, just a stack of papers and a suitcase. My suitcase, the one I kept in the upstairs closet at home. My stomach twisted. I looked up, and there she was, Mia. Standing tall, cold, arms crossed. Next to her was some guy I didn't recognize, slick-looking, wearing a suit that probably cost more than my car. Her parents were there too, Clive with his stern jaw, Rosalind with her pinched lips, staring at me like I was dirt on their shoes. The crowd went silent. "Happy birthday, Julian," Mia said, her voice flat as a board. Or maybe I should say, "Goodbye." My heart started pounding, my mind racing. What the hell was going on? I took a step forward, fists clenching at my sides. This wasn't a party. This was a setup. Clive stepped forward, his voice booming across the room. "It's time for you to go, Hayes. You've overstayed your welcome." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Some looked away, uncomfortable. Others leaned in, eager for the drama. I could feel the heat of humiliation creeping up my neck, but I wasn't going to give them the satisfaction. I straightened, forced a smile, and met Mia's gaze. "A farewell party, huh?" My voice was calm, even. "Well, let's make it one they'll never forget." I slipped my hand into my pocket, brushing against my phone. They thought they had me cornered. They thought I'd slink away like a beaten dog. But I had something they didn't know about. I'd seen this coming. Not the party, not this exact moment, but the shift, the coldness, and I'd done something about it. Months ago, Mia had started, acting different. She came home late, avoided my eyes, made excuses. She moved into the guest room, said I tossed and turned too much. I wanted to believe her, but my gut wouldn't let me. So I did what I do best. I got smart. I started paying attention, digging, watching. I put a recorder in the guest room one night when she was out. I hacked into her email, and what I found made my blood run cold. Mia had been planning this for months. The late nights, she wasn't at her dad's office. She was with him, Caleb Morris, her dad's investment partner. The emails were flirty at first, then worse. Meetings at hotels, pictures. The lies piled up and I saved every single one. And now, standing in the middle of the country club, the proof was sitting in my pocket. They thought they were burying me tonight, but I wasn't going down without a fight. I pulled out my phone, held it up, and saw Mia's face change. Clive froze. Rosalind clutched her necklace. They didn't know what I had. "You think this is your party?" I said, voice steady. "It's mine now." The crowd buzzed, whispers spreading like wildfire. Mia's lover crossed his arms, trying to look unimpressed, but I could see the flicker of doubt in his eyes. Clive stepped closer, his face red. "Don't be stupid, Hayes. Take your bag and get out." I didn't move. Instead, I reached for the stack of papers on the table and started flipping through them. Divorce papers like I expected. But there was more. Financial documents, bank accounts in my name, property deals, things I'd never signed. My blood turned to ice. They weren't just kicking me out, they were setting me up. And they were about to find out just how big a mistake they'd made. They thought they had me cornered. The farewell party, the divorce papers, just a cover for their real plan. Pin. Their fraud on me and walk away clean. But they didn't know what I had. Months of evidence. Every lie, every shady deal, every betrayal. It was all backed up, waiting. I tapped my phone. The giant screen behind me lit up. Mia and Caleb tangled. Up in our bed, Clive bragging about setting me up, proof of every dirty move they'd made. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Phones came out, recording. Panic flashed in Mia's eyes. Clive turned red. "You think I'm just going to take the fall?" I said, voice steady. "Think again." The doors swung open. My lawyer, Dana Roth, strode in, calm, prepared. "Mr. Hayes is here to renegotiate," she announced, laying out court orders. Their assets frozen. My name cleared. A 30% stake in Grant Holdings. Mine. Mia lunged at me, claws out. I sidestepped. "You think you're clever?" she spat. I smiled. "No, just thorough." Then the police arrived. "Mr. Grant, you're wanted for questioning in connection with corporate fraud." The cameras flashed. The room buzzed. Clive went pale. I signed the divorce papers. On my terms. They tried to ruin me. Instead, I destroyed them. The courtroom was packed. Tension thick in the air. 2 weeks ago, I walked into a trap. Now, I was the one holding the knife. Mia sat across from me. Hollow-eyed, hands clenched. She'd contested the divorce terms. Bad move. Dana, calm and deadly, stacked our evidence on the table. Recordings, emails, ledgers. Facts. Mia's lawyer spun lies. Dana let him talk, then stood. "Your Honor, this isn't a story. It's fraud." She played the recording. Mia's voice filled the room. "Julian won't check. He trusts me." The judge's brow lifted. Murmurs spread. Dana dropped more evidence. Emails. Financial trails. Every dirty deal. Mia shrank lower. Her lawyer sputtered. Dana shut him down. Then it was my turn. I stood. "I didn't want this," I said. "I loved her, trusted her, thought we were building something real. But she used me. Her family used me. Lied, cheated, laughed behind my back. Now, they answer for it. Silence. The judge eyed Mia, then me. I saw the shift. The town was watching, listening. The mighty Grants had fallen, and I was still standing. A month after the courtroom victory, I left the motel and moved into a small house on the edge of Willow Bend, far from the Grant Mansion and its ghosts. It needed work, but it was mine, bought with clean money from my tech consultancy. The house Mia and I shared was up for sale. Too many memories, too much history. The town was still buzzing from the Grants' fall. Clive and Rosalind were buried in legal trouble, Mia keeping a low profile. But I was moving forward. Work was steady, old clients returning, new ones calling. People joked about me being the guy who took down the Grants. I didn't mind. It kept me busy. One afternoon, Dana stopped by with a bottle of wine. We sat on the porch talking about what came next. That night, an idea took shape. The next morning, I called her. What if we build a platform for whistleblowers? A place for people like us to share proof, get help. She didn't hesitate. I'm in. We worked fast. I built the site, Open Ledger. Dana handled legal. It launched within a week, the first post my own story. Soon, people came forward. Shop owners, farmers, teachers, victims of the Grants now ready to fight back. Marcus uploaded old files. Sarah shared her lease nightmare. The momentum grew. We turned a seized chunk of Grant estate into a community center, job training, mentorship, a fresh start for people who needed it. Willow Bend was shifting. Main Street felt lighter. Lisa at the bakery named a coffee blend after me. Marcus repaid his loan early. Mike helped fix up my house, cracking. Jokes about my superhero face. I laughed, but I understood what it meant. Mia crossed my mind sometimes. I hadn't seen her since the courthouse. Maybe she'd try again, but I doubted it. I didn't hate her anymore. That chapter was over. Open Ledger kept growing. Bigger firms wanted in, but we kept it for the little guys. It wasn't just about taking the Grants down anymore. It was about building something better. One night, standing in my yard under the stars, I thought about that party. How I walked in expecting cake and walked out with a war. Now the war was over. The ashes were cooling, and I was ready for whatever came next.